Mitt namn är Ludvig Kapanen. Jag är detaljhandelsanalytiker på ABG. Och idag har jag fått den stora äran att presentera nästa talare. Och det är Håkan Lagerberv, vd på Swedencare. Varsågod.
Tusen tack. Håkan Lagerberv heter jag. Presentation av mig och Jenny Graflin som är CFO. Hon sitter här om det blir komplicerade frågor på balansräkning och liknande. In English, okay, sure, yeah, no, yep, absolutely, no worries. Yeah, no worries. Swedencare, we are a nutraceutical company based in Sweden. We sell in over 50 countries. We have our own sales offices in 5 countries, and what good description of us is that we've grown faster than the market, and we've done it with a very healthy profit margin. We have one key product line called ProDen PlaqueOff. It's a nutraceutical product based on a certain species of algae that has an effect on the oral care of the dogs and cats. Small company. We have 30 people all over the world. We have our own production facility in Ireland that last week got GMP certification. Not that we don't produce any drugs, but we still want to have a high quality production facility. Our main area is products for cats and dogs, but we also have a horse product line that I will describe a bit later. Going back to the market where we're acting, it's the pet market is a very strong market. It's been growing. If you take US for an example, it's been growing since the end of World War II. Every year, both in spending and also in number of dogs and cats. The big change for pet owners has been that nowadays basically everyone sees the pet as a family member, and if it's a family member, you want to take very good care of them. So the spending and the care has increased these last 15-20 years. If you take better care of them, they live longer, but then of course you get some age-related symptoms like humans, and that creates a demand for the kind of products that we supply the market with. The nutraceutical market is growing faster than the market as such. People are looking for new products that can help them for different kind of problems. It could be for as instance for our company, it's oral care, but it could also be for skin and coat, joints, whatever basically. What's driving the market is really that people put their pets like children on the first row. So a question here, what would a pet owner sacrifice if they went into some financial problems? They could go to less frequently to restaurants, perhaps a less expensive vacation, etc. It's down here within this group. Other things. It's actually decreasing the spending on their pets. So it's not on the list to spend less money on their pets. Market-wise, it's a bit strange, these pictures. The market Europe and the US is more or less the same value-wise, but the average spend in the US is nearly twice as much as in Europe. So the spending is a lot more, and I would say in north of Europe we're more similar to the US market. Southern Europe the spend is a lot less. The fastest growing region in the world is Asia. As you see here, Asia Pacific is growing nearly 10% annually, and the more mature markets, Europe and the US, lower figures but still growing. Number of dogs and cats are fairly increase fairly alike. In Europe, it's a tendency that dogs have leveled out and cats are increasing. Swedencare. It was founded by a dentist/scientist that discovered this specific algae that has an effect on the bad breath and plaque formation. Had some research early 90s, created a company in 2000 and starting selling in the Nordics early 2000. And from there on, grew the company with very limited resources. They were 2 people working there, and they ordered the product and had it bottled with a partner, and then basically gave away distributorships all around the world. But without making any more, let's say, marketing from Swedencare as such, it was the exclusive distributors that made the marketing in different countries in the world. In 2014, I came into the business. Me and 2 others bought the company from the founders. At that point of time, we had sales with 1 product line, the powder product, and selling in 25, 30 countries perhaps. We made a new business plan and bought the distributors in France, UK, and US, both to get closer to the end consumer, but also to be able to change the let's say marketing and spend in those markets, because we saw that there was enormous potential in these markets, specifically UK and US. And with a bit more effort, we were convinced that we were going to increase the sales a lot, and that has been successful. We made an IPO in 2016 in June, down here, 14th of June, and we did it both to, let's say, be able to take part of the growing market opportunities. We saw that it was a very let's say scattered market all over the world, and there hasn't really, at that point of time, there was no consolidation at all. Basically, or companies were growing, but no real consolidation. So we took in 3.5 million euros, and from there on started to look for some acquisition opportunities. We bought a small Swedish company early end of summer 2016. We bought a bigger company called NutriScience with a production facility in Ireland. With that, we got a wider product offering and also our own production facility. Since then, we have kept on growing the business at a very healthy rate. Last year we had a growth of 18%, but this year, first half year, we have had a growth of 30%, and I expect going forward we will keep closer to the 30 than the 18. Some markets where we feel that we are not getting the correct results, there we are looking either to change distributor or start our own. And Spain is such a market that we feel that there's a lot more potential than we have been able to get out of it. And we started with one personnel in Barcelona, Spain, and we expect that from 2020 we will see a completely different sales result than we had as of today. What are our Swedencare strengths? Because I mean, the market as such is good, but normally the markets, they have strong local players. We are a very small company, as you saw, 30 people scattered all over the world, but that is also our strength, that we have been very, let's say, agile and opportunistic. We have created a global distribution network to over 50 countries, and we continue to add countries basically every year, and we have strong interest from the market as well. So it's really been a fairly easy ride for us, at least, to attract interest from distributors. But then, of course, we need to choose the right one, and we also need to support them correctly. And I think we've been very successful with that. We have our Swedish office. We have some key accounts working out of there, and myself as well. We travel a lot to Asia and markets where we don't have our own sales offices, and that has been absolutely one success factor, is that we are very fast in going forward with support to our distributors. We have strong brands. Of course, it's easier to launch a brand in a new market if there's already interest. We have been one of the not that many companies. We are successful in the vet channel and pet retail, and starting to enter in some premium normal retailers. And that's a tricky part, because normally if you have a product that's being sold in the vet channel and you enter the pet retail, lots of veterinarians don't approve of that and want to stop selling the product. But in basically all the markets we're in all of these three channels, and that's one big reason for our continued growth. As I said, dog, cat, horses, nutraceutical products that we produce ourselves or with partners. We have also entered into some dog food and cat food corporations, where we enter our active ingredient into a existing brand. Here you see ProDen PlaqueOff down here on the bag. On those it says ProDen PlaqueOff here. That's a very, let's say, good way, an easy way for a dog and cat owner to get the active substance from our product. If you, let's say, have a tendency of forgetting giving that to the dog and cat. So, and also for us, it's very good to reach out to those pet owners that are really, they are prepared to buy a premium food, but they are perhaps not in the habit of buying nutraceuticals. Perhaps they only buy that kind of products if there's an acute problem. We do not have any prescribed product or accessories, and we will focus within this area. This is the main product for Swedencare. Systemic effect on oral health. It's a powder product. This product was sold from mid-2000 until around 2014, when I entered the company. Then we launched this Dental Bites. It's more of a treat. And then a couple of years ago, we added the dental bones. It's a tough market with bones, but chew products, but they still are very, let's say, it's a big part of the business, dog dental chews, and we have been very successful when launching these. And you could give powder one day, give a bone the other day, and a dental bite the other day. So it's really just giving the possibility to give the product, the active ingredient, in different ways, because dog owners, they have different preferences. In the major markets, we have a patent and trademark protection. In around 30 countries, we sell in 50. We have clinical studies. It's not to compare with clinical studies in the human field. It's less costly and easier to make clinical studies in the pet area. But still, they are made with a proper protocol, etc. So it's really, we focus on being able to present to the market proper clinical studies and also high quality products. We still, even though we have good growth, we sold last year around 1.6 million of these pots. So it would give the yearly dosage to 0.5 million dogs, and there's approximately 500 million dogs. So we still cover a very, very, very small percentage of the market, and that's why we continue to grow. The other product lines that we have sold under the NutriScience brand, it's for joints and mobility, skin and coat, multivitamin, calming supplements for dogs and cats. It's both powder, gels, and liquids. And specifically the gels for the cat population is really popular, and that one we are launching into more markets. These kind of products has very tough competition, so it's really takes a bit longer to enter a new market, and it's also tough competition price-wise. But we focus on high-quality product and a bit higher price level. The horse market is primarily in UK, Ireland, Scandinavia, and Germany, where we sell these products. But now we're entering into Portugal and Spain as well, and I think we will keep these more or less to Europe, since horse products is a bit more costly in transport and also competition-wise. The latest clinical studies we've done 2017 and 19 is to get the approval from the Veterinary Oral Health Council. It's an international organization, and it's specifically in the US market. It's very important to have this recognition to sell your products in certain veterinary chains. And since we got it from the powder early 2019, we have seen increased sales in the veterinary channel specifically in the US. Half-year highlights. We had a 29% increase in sales. Both the quarters were strong. First time we were over 30 million in revenue each quarter. US and Asia strongest growth, and I expect that to continue going forward. We have you can see that the US market is the biggest, and really, even though it's big for us, we still keep on launching our products in new vet clinics and retail chains. I was in the US last week at the big expo, and there I met with one chain. Even my US team, they have heard of it, but they didn't know exactly how big they were, and they had like 280 stores, and that's the kind of market there is in US. There are lots of big chains, and still a lot of potential for us. We've added salespeople in the US and in Spain, as I said. The dental bones, our newest product line for the ProDen PlaqueOff, increased by almost the double, and we see continued growth. We have had some constraints in supplying the market. So end of this second quarter, we bought a new a new mold for this production. So from mid-September, we will have double capacity for the bones. So it's finally we will have enough to deliver to the market. We've had lots of interest from investors over the half year, and even though we're a small organization, we try to arrange meetings and telephone meetings with interested parties. Going forward, we have a new strategy going to the online retailers. Online retailers is, of course, a very important segment of the market and the fastest growing. In the US, for example, Chewy.com is the biggest individual online retailer. They sell basically as much as Amazon online in the US. They are our biggest customer. In Europe, we are now entering into direct supply agreements to Amazon in the different countries, and it's really to both be able to have a more direct and, let's say, take more responsibility for the marketing online, and also, of course, it's a bit easier to see the price trends of the different products on the market if you have more direct contact with the online retailers. As you saw in the company timeline, we have not made any acquisitions since end of 2016, and it's been let's say, a priority from our point of view. We are looking actively, but the market is kind of there's lots of demand when something is out for sale, and we really prioritize to making the right acquisitions. But we're ready for it. We have a very strong balance sheet. The organization is well functioning, so I hope and expect that we will make some acquisition going forward. The figures, net revenue, 60 million half year. Solvency 83.3, very good cash position, and the EBIT margin was over 30%. Our communicated goal is 30%, and we have said now that going forward, even though we have very good economies of scale, that we could increase the EBIT margin, we will focus on investing more in sales and marketing going forward and keeping the EBIT margin around 30%. Rolling 4 quarters has been a fairly straight development. And let's see, EBITDA the same. We've kept a healthy profit margin going forward. Sales per region is 18 compared to 2019. You see that North America has grown from 23% to 29%. I expect that to continue. Asia has grown from 15 to 19, and also that I expect to keep on growing. Is it time?
It's time.
Okay.
So before we round off, I would also like to ask some questions. And the first one is that in the first half of 2019, you achieved sales growth of close to 30%. Do you believe you will be able to accelerate that pace in the second half, and why in that case?
I expect that we will be at least 30% for the full year. I would say that.
Okay. And I've also noticed that in the last couple of quarters, you've been performing especially strong in North America. It almost looks like a step change for you guys. Have you done something different? What are the drivers behind this? Could you explain?
We haven't done that much different, but we've been working very focused and very more or less in the same way. We are spending a bit more in marketing, both online and a bit more in let's say point of sales material out in the pet retailers. But I think it's more that it's a new momentum that our brand has become more well known. So we get lots of, let's say, we don't have to go after different customers or new customers. They are calling us, wanting to have our product on their shelves. So it's really, and also since we are increasing the product line, it's really, we have been getting more and more shelf space, and that of course triggers sales out in the stores.
Okay, interesting. And also you aim to release new financial targets this fall.
Yes.
Right? I understand that you can't provide any details today, but could you at least give us some flavor of how you aim to construct the goals, etc.?
Oh, no, that's a discussion for the board, and we haven't had that yet. So no, but we will present them before the end of the year is over.
Understood. And also, a last one from me then. You have sales and production in both the UK and the US, and you sell quite a lot nowadays also in China. The trade tensions between US and China are known, and Brexit seems to be a fact. Has it affected you to some extent? Could you elaborate?
US, China, I don't think we've been affected at all. Could be that I know that some US brands have had trouble in getting in nowadays, but I don't think that has affected us much. In the UK, of course, when there was end of Q1, we had very strong sales in UK, and one reason was that some of our key customers they stocked up a bit if there were to be a Brexit in this first half year. But and now we're getting closer again, so I guess we will see the same buy pattern from those customers. And also we are of course looking, since we have production in Ireland, we are also looking in. We will stock up a bit in the UK, and if we can't get product into to the UK from Ireland, which I do expect that we will be able to do, but we can set up production fairly easy in the UK if that's necessary.
Okay.
Okay.
That was all for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.